What if the journey to finding yourself doesn't require a destination, but simply the courage to turn the page in the company of strangers who feel like home? In On the Book Train to Paris, Norrie Clark delivers a literary hug disguised as a novel, transforming a railcar full of bibliophiles into a moving sanctuary where stories heal, connections spark, and the love of books becomes the ultimate love language. This isn't just another charming travelogue or cozy romance. It's a radiant celebration of community, second acts, and the quiet magic that happens when we let narratives bridge the gaps between our isolated lives. From the first rhythmic clatter of wheels on tracks, listeners are welcomed aboard a rolling library where every shared recommendation is an act of trust, and every conversation feels like coming up for air. Perfect for book lovers, dreamers, and anyone craving uplift without saccharine sweetness, this audiobook serves up warmth that lingers, characters who feel like old friends, and a reminder that sometimes the best chapters of our lives are written in transit. When recently widowed librarian Alara Vance boards the legendary book train to Paris to scatter her husband's ashes at his favorite literary cafe, she expects solitude and sorrow, not a carriage full of fellow travelers whose own stories begin to intertwine with hers in ways she never anticipated. There's Maya, a burnt-out editor fleeing perfectionism, Julian, a retired professor rediscovering joy through poetry, and Sophie, a young illustrator sketching hope back into her world. As the train winds through lavender fields and historic towns, their shared devotion to literature becomes the thread that binds them, turning grief into grace and isolation into belonging. Clark masterfully avoids cliché by grounding each character's arc in authentic emotional texture. Their healing isn't instantaneous, but earned through vulnerability, humor, and the gentle insistence of new friendships. The audiobook narration amplifies this intimacy, capturing Alara's tender resilience and the ensemble's distinct voices with such warmth that you'll swear you're sitting across from them in velvet seats, tea steaming beside you. You don't just hear their journey, you feel the rhythm of renewal in every mile. What elevates On the Book Train to Paris beyond typical feel-good fiction is its profound respect for books as living entities rather than mere props. Each title discussed isn't randomly chosen, it mirrors a character's inner landscape, making literary references serve emotional revelation rather than name-dropping. Alara's relationship with reading evolves from solitary refuge to communal lifeline, challenging the notion that bibliophily must be isolating. The train itself functions as a character, a liminal space where social hierarchies dissolve and authenticity flourishes. Supporting interactions shine with purposeful tenderness, impromptu readings in the dining car, handwritten notes tucked into borrowed novels, silent companionship during moments of overwhelm. Even Paris, when finally reached, isn't a grand finale, but a quiet continuation of the transformation already underway. Every element reinforces the novel's core truth. Stories don't just reflect life, they reshape it, especially when shared with open hearts. For audiobook listeners, this production is pure auditory comfort with substance. The narrator embodies the ensemble cast with remarkable distinction, shifting seamlessly between Alara's reflective cadence, Maya's wry exhaustion, Julian's gentle wisdom, and Sophie's tentative hope, making each voice instantly recognizable and deeply human. Sound design enhances immersion without distraction. The soothing rumble of train wheels, distant station announcements in French, pages turning in synchronized silence, all anchor emotional beats and sensory reality. Pacing mirrors the journey itself, unhurried during moments of reflection and connection, then gently accelerating as landscapes shift and revelations unfold. Whether you're commuting through gray skies or curled up on a rainy afternoon, the audiobook creates a portable haven where escapism and introspection coexist beautifully. It's storytelling as embodied invitation, transforming passive listening into active participation in a community built on words. Ultimately, On the Book Train to Paris redefines uplifting fiction by centering collective healing over individual triumph. It satisfies cravings for charm and optimism while delivering substantive commentary on grief, aging, and the radical act of choosing joy after loss. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional experience. If you've ever believed books are escapes from life rather than pathways into deeper connection, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most transformative journeys happen not despite our stories, but because of them. Press play, settle into your seat, and prepare to remember that you're never truly alone when you carry a book and a longing heart. Your next favorite read isn't waiting on a shelf. It's waiting in the brave, beautiful choice to share your story with strangers who might just become family.